Welcome, everybody, to the show this evening. This is D Rosebud Bud Radio. Woke AF, keeping it that way for life. Such an interesting time to be alive. This podcast, we're going to be talking, generally speaking, about news, theories, philosophy, finances, health, prophecy, education, wisdom. All I wanted to do in my life growing up was to be a history teacher, to have an impact on posterity. It is one of the most noble professions to become a teacher, but I did not fit in with the mainstream, you could say. So, for posterity's sake, here we go, folks. I just want to let people know from my individual perspective on this star date of November 7, 2017. That's not really a star date, totally earthly. But what we're seeing in United States, multiple false flags every single month now, one after another. Las Vegas and now the Texas church shooting, MK Ultra style assets put into play in this fourth dimensional chess match, Project Monarch assets fully weaponized. And people have got to start asking questions, and the truth is being exposed about this, because we have no motive in Las Vegas, worst mass shooting in modern American history. And we're left with so many more questions than we have answers. As the time goes on, there's more questions, and it gets even more sketchy. And now, as a diversionary tactic, we're having Texas shooting in the church happen, with an MK Ultra style asset being weaponized and put into play in this chess match in and on planet Earth. In other news, we have Saudi oil criminal princes being dismantled on a global stage. Democrats are starting to roast their own. Donna Brazile is fearing for her own life, and even bringing up Seth Rich, the DNC staffer, the leaker to WikiLeaks, who was murdered on the streets of the District of Columbia. And these Saudi oil criminal princes have been donating heavily to the Clinton Foundation. Where is this rabbit hole gonna go? Elizabeth Warren, the Democratic leader, seeing the writing on the wall of her very own party, is saying the DNC primaries were rigged. Trying to rebuild her party, Elizabeth Warren is likely from the grassroots up. Mega billionaire funded protests are failing. The George Soros money that's coming in to all these anti-capitalists, these alleged anti-fascists, are the fascists. They are the ones who are brain dead and are being divided amongst themselves and each other and all of us. They are divided up by race. This is a Nazi-style mind control tactic to divide a population by race and creed and gender against one another for dividing and conquering, but it's not working, and the old guard's timeline is crumbling away, and they will now be erased from history. Establishment Republicans will be roasted too, falling by the wayside. John McCain, John Songbird McCain the traitor, and Lindsey Graham. George H.W. Bush. George W. Bush. Rockefeller's already dead. And others, I believe in great numbers, are quietly being taken over, their powers being usurped by grassroots populists. And these rhinos, or whoever they are fighting back with a vengeance. We have Kentucky Liberty Senator Rand Paul nearly beaten to death. The son of the grassroots patriot, this should have been the president, Ron Paul, will go down in history as a patriot. Steve Scalise, in other news, was earlier this year shot at a softball game. Why? We got to ask questions. Why are these senators and congressmen having attempts on their life? Who are they against? Who are they allied against? Well, Steve Scalise allegedly was allied against and trying to expose human traffickers. Human traffickers. The true evil incarnate are the modern day slave traders. That poison that has been the scourge of planet Earth for thousands of years. And the good guys in this battle are not perfect. And actually, all of them are humans. Many times, the good guys are actually former bad guys. And how intelligence communities and patriots are communicating now in this storm. We're in the storm. We're in World War III right now. The hacking, the financial wars, the proxy armies. It's all coming to a head. And how the CIA, FBI, intelligence patriots are communicating and letting people know what's happening is through 4chan message boards. And we are seeing command structure in this and intelligence coming through in this in code if you have the eyes to see. Nobody, generally speaking, realizes this, but they will in the future. The breadcrumbs are there. But the worst evil in our existence that we mentioned earlier has loose ties to Pedowood. Not Hollywood, Pedowood. Kevin Spacey's home, which should be exposed further as a whole town of intergenerational evildoers and even Nazis, which go back to the times of Stanley Kubrick. And I have to ask, what did he really know? And try to put into Eyes Wide Shut. It heads right into politics. Politicians, hacked emails that talk of spirit cooking, blood magic, and human trafficking. Let's go there, people. Down the rabbit hole. Follow the white rabbit down to the deep unknown. Of course, you will have a happy ending. But the spherical garden is often filled with weeds that need to be scorched into oblivion from time to time, from cycle to cycle of the times we live in. And what of that pulsing logos and all of that which is found in creation? What of the angelic reapers who ever endear to serve and fill the barn with the smallest of seeds for the next season on the next spherical garden? And what if these reapers then descend to harvest the crop of wheat? Leonardo da Vinci knew this. He knew of the body-mind-spirit complex. And this future is not grim. Welcome to the positive timeline. All that is grim will be scorched, and then from those ashes shall rise again as something new and therefore undefined. Or perhaps not. There was a time back in ancient Egypt when the law of one was decreed across the land, but its understanding was then quickly corrupted by some priestly class. I call upon any active or dormant member, if you choose to remember that which you already know of the brothers and sisters of the Law of One, to action now across the lands of the earth to fight for freedom and unity forever and ever. Row, row, row your boat gently down the stream. Merrily, 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 life is but a dream. Happily, 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 our lives are but dreams and our thoughts of the infinite. Life itself can be illusory in nature. It's simple as a photonic light particle that experiences in a vessel and then is gone again into the infinity. And then there is another boat to take. But one boat in this life can be that of a timeline of higher consciousness, an understanding of the situation you're in as you ride on the third rock from our star, our system known as Soul. There has been a great brainwashing in place that has in our past caused amnesia. It has seized the hearts of many of the populace of Earth's third density. We have had a bumpy, shaky start to our adventure as human beings in the cosmos, but I have a feeling the ending is gonna be a good one. And in the words of Robert Dean, we shall take our rightful place in the stars. Ladies and gentlemen, this broadcast is being disseminated on all major wavelengths and forms of communication of times and space in this density. So, I hope you've enjoyed it. Come with me on this journey. Come with me with questions and comments in the box below. Press that button to subscribe, please. And most importantly, keep it woke, everybody.